Hey guys, it's Coach Matt over here, Primal Athlete Training Center, www.primalatc.com. Well guys, today's training question, or today's training video, comes to us via email from a guy by the name of Harun, H-A-R-U-N. And he says, hey, first I'd like to say thanks for all the great info on throwing. I got the website to my other teammates and I hope they benefit as much as I am from it. And first of all, Harun, thank you very much for that. I always ask people that check out these videos to forward them along to their teammates and their friends and their coaches to let them know and start spreading the word about Primal. So thank you very much for doing that. He says, this was my first year throwing. I started throwing 16 feet in the winter season. Now I'm throwing 38 to 39 feet, which is a huge increase. I mean, that's what we see with a lot of first-time throwers is once they get the hang of it, once they get the knack of it, things start to take off. I've been practicing almost every day in the off-season, and I've also been lifting. I've found some success using a 16-pound shot in my training. After using it for 2 weeks, I see a huge difference in using the 12-pound shot. It feels a lot lighter. I was just wondering if you know a way to use the 16-pound shot to maximize results. Like, should I use it one day and use the 12-pound another, etc. Thanks, Harun. Well, first of all, again, thank you very much for the question. This is a question that I get a lot, but I really haven't taken the time to do a video for, so I wanted to do it now. Using overweight shots and using underweight shots is a great training method to get you to throw further. It's a great training method for you to using the heavier shot to increase your strength, and it's a good way using a lighter weight shot to increase your speed. Now, they talk about functional training. I mentioned this in a video about a week ago. Functional training, you don't get much more functional than doing your actual event, maybe with something that's a little bit heavier or a little bit lighter. So it's a great way of training, and I agree wholeheartedly that you should be training with overweight and underweight shot puts or discus or whatever your event might be. The problem becomes when you use it every single day. When you use it every single day or every other day, well, then you're not really practicing your event anymore. And what I mean by that is that when you throw an overweight shot a lot, when you throw an overweight shot every day or every other day, now you're starting to mess with your release angle, you're starting to mess with your speed, you're starting to mess with your balance, with your coordination, with your timing, your rhythm. All that stuff is going to get thrown off a little bit. For that reason, I like using overweight shots maybe once a week. We're talking maybe 15 throws one time a week using an overweight shot. I also like to use an underweight shot. I like to use an underweight shot, again, one time a week to work on speed, and again, 15 to 20 throws with the underweight shot. Everything else should be with the shot put that you use. Now, granted, the 12-pound shot that you're using right now does feel a lot lighter, but I can tell you a story. After my first year of throwing in college, using the 16-pounder, I came home, got out of school a little bit early, I came home and volunteered to work at a track meet that was being held at my old high school. And this track meet, they asked me to officiate, and after I was done officiating, I went and I picked up a 12-pound shot thinking I was going to throw this thing 60 feet. I threw the thing, it felt so light, but it literally went straight up in the air and landed at about 42 feet. Now, I was throwing about 46 feet or so with a college shot at this time, my first year in, and I couldn't get over it. The problem was I had gotten so used to using the overweight shot, and I'd gotten so used to using the overweight discus that when I let them go, I released it so high in the air that it threw everything off with the 12. I got the knack of it after a couple throws, and I literally felt like I was just pushing the shot forward without getting any loft underneath it. And that's what's going to happen if you use different weight shots or discs or anything else, javelins, hammers. If you use overweight and underweight throwing implements, it's going to throw off those little things. So I do like using them. I do tell people that they should use them as well. But in reality, we should cut it down a little bit, maybe only one day a week, 15 to 20 throws per day. Don't throw it every day. Don't throw it every other day. One time a week is perfectly fine. Get used to working on your positions, practice your techniques, practice your form, and practice using the implement that you're going to throw when you are in a meet. Now, to go along with this, you were wondering a way to use the 16-pound shot to maximize results. That's really it. Now, if you have a 16-pound shot, there's a lot of things that you can do with that shot, not throwing it like you would if you were getting a mark, but you can do a lot of things like overhead throws, underhanded throws for distance, overhead throws for height, overhead throws for distance. You can throw side to side with the 16-pound shot. You can use a lot of things like you would use a medicine ball to get nice and explosive in the legs, nice and explosive in the hips, nice and explosive in the butt, in the stomach, keeping everything tight, keeping everything in really good standing. And basically that's another way that you can use the 16-pound shot to get the advantage and to use a heavier weight implement. Now at the same time, that goes along with Olympic lifting, and that goes along with I guess you can say the dynamic lifting, to steal something from Louis Simmons and Westside and conjugate method and the Russians and Vershansky and all those other guys. But basically you can use a lighter weight in the weight room. If you have a 200-pound bench press, put 100 pounds on the bar, move it as quickly as possible. That's going to get you nice and quick and explosive and reactive. If you have a 400-pound squat, put 200 pounds on the bar, squat it as quickly as possible. Things like medicine balls. These are overweight implements and overweight ways of training that you can do to get yourself more explosive, to get your body more explosive as a whole unit. And that's going to help you increase your throws further than using a 16-pound shot ever would. Guys, it's Coach Matt over here at Primal Athlete Training Center. Thank you so much for checking us out. Just like Harron did, make sure you tell your friends. Actually, he heard from one of his teammates, so make sure you tell your friends, you tell your teammates and your coaches. Believe me, tell your coaches, because a lot of times coaches are looking for as much training tips as you are. Let your coaches know about primalatc.com. Primal is the place for you to come when you have questions and you need answers on your throwing technique. I'm the guy who wants to answer it for you. So let me be your private coach. Let me help you out. Send those emails to me. Leave those questions on Facebook. Leave the questions under our YouTube videos if that's how you're finding us. But please make sure you go to primalatc.com. Make sure you let your teammates and your friends and your coaches know about it. We want to grow. We want to help out as many people as possible, and you can help make that happen. Thanks.